So you're probably asking, Evan, what leads do I start out with? It's a great question. So great that I'm going to cover it in this video. Okay. So beginning lead strategy is pretty crucial to your success, and you want to start aggressive. You want to be aggressive with this. The biggest thing that's going to inhibit you from being aggressive is belief. And I get it. You need to build incremental segments of trust. I get that. But as far as the company goes and as far as the systems that we use, both technical and just the way that we do business, it works. We wouldn't have done $200 million in life insurance last year. I wouldn't have done $200,000 my first year, never in sales, never insurance beforehand. Okay? So all I'm saying as far as this goes is you're about to spend some money, and believe me, just trust me. Okay? Beginning lead strategy, that first batch, either myself, your upline, will have some sort of program or incentive for you. Either if you're dead broke and you don't have any money whatsoever to spend on leads, I get it. Okay, sell your skateboard, sell your surfboard, buy $200 worth of leads from that sale. If you absolutely can't do that, I still get it. We're going to either match you or give you your first batch of leads. It's not going to be the highest quality leads ever, right? I have an $80 per lead retro mortgage protection program. It's not going to be any of those, and you won't get on those for a while. Not that you can't handle it, you just can't handle it yet. First batch of leads is going to be off the CRM. Please do it off the CRM. It's the best bang for your buck. The way that leads works is there's an inverse relationship between the money that you pay for a lead and the time that you have to put into it. So for example, an $80 mortgage protection lead, $80 for one lead, doesn't require a lot of work because they're usually going to pick up the first couple times that you give them a call. They're not getting hit up a lot of times, and I'm not going to go into why, but it's just a more deliberate lead. So I'm going to spend less time on the phone and more time booking appointments with those. The opposite is like a $3, $4 lead off the CRM. It's older. People might have been called before. That's okay. You can still book it. But it's just older. You're going to have to work through more of them to get more appointments. More objections are going to come up. But that's okay. We're going to start you off on older leads for two primary reasons. One, you're nervous. If you're not nervous, that's weird. But anybody that's never done the phones before, they're going to be nervous. And that's okay. It's natural. I was nervous too. So you're going to be nervous. The best way to get through your nerves is repetition. The second reason is that it's more affordable. So you're going to have to dial more people. You're going to get more objections. You're going to get the nerves out of there. You know, it's so funny. Like, I have a couple agents that are like, I'm really anxious about going into my first appointment. I'm really anxious about going into the home. Like, okay. And it keeps them up at night. And then they go get porched on their first appointment. It's like, why do I expend all that energy being anxious? Why do I spend all that time? Like, they weren't even freaking home. So don't get nervous about the phone. It's a good thing if the people pick up. So one thing at a time. Get nervous after you book the appointment, not before, because they may not even pick up the damn phone, okay? So we're going to go with some aged leads the first time. We buy those off of the CRM. The CRM is the only place that you could buy aged leads, okay? And they're discounted because they've been sold before, but nobody's written life insurance off of them. That's the key thing. Where do you buy them? The CRM. So let's just go to Reno, Nevada, for example, because that's where I am. And let's say I had an agent. You were sitting right in front of me. This is my office, and we're looking at our first lead batch. And we can choose from all these guys, okay? The top guys, Male Pro MP 2-month, Male Pro MP 3-month or more. That MP, that Male Pro MP means mortgage protection. So it was a lead generation for mortgage protection. They were inquiring about mortgage protection. Now, it's not that you can't handle it. You just can't handle it yet. Reason being, mortgage protection has a more complex aspect to it. It's one thing to sell life insurance. It's another thing to sell life insurance to gear up to a mortgage. It's not fucking rocket science, but we always like to start you off on final expense. Final expense, hey, I'm looking for burial cremation protection. It's going to be $5, $10, $15, $20,000. When you pass, your beneficiary gets money to bury you or cremate you. And there's no money that has to be taken out of the pockets of the family members that are responsible for you. Really simple, really easy. Mortgage protection, you have some return of premiums, living benefits, terms, different stuff like that. It's a little bit more complex. Not that you can't handle it. We just want to start you off and stack the deck in your favor, make it as simple as possible, okay? So let's just stay away in the beginning for the first couple lead batches from mortgage protection. So anything that says MP is mortgage protection. If we come down here, Male Pro FEX 1 month. FEX is final expense. Now these, if they're available, buy them. They are gold. I love these leads. Off the CRM, these are my favorite leads. Just FYI. These and the Mail Pro Mortgage Protection 1 month, those are my favorites. Everybody has their favorites though, so they're just my favorites. Okay, they may not be your favorites. Some people love Instant Internet Life Leads. Some people love Internet Life Lead 1 month. I know people that buy those religiously every single week, 100 of them. It's okay. If you have a question about what a lead is or how much it costs, just click on the lead itself and it'll explain it. A mail-generated final expense lead, which ranges from 30 to 60 days old and has only been sold once to an FFL agent. Life insurance was not sold off of this lead. The original lead card is attached for printing purpose with each lead record. Unit cost 8, so it's 8 per lead. Okay. Now in Washoe County, there's 29 available. So if you wanted to buy all of them, it'd be like $207. Let's go to the next one. Instant Internet Lead. These guys came out in July of 2020. They've been a game changer. Some of the biggest policies that I've ever written have been off of Instant Internet Leads. And these guys are the only ones that are in the CRM that are brand spanking new. So the second somebody fills out a quote online, I think 5 minutes later it gets put into this system, and then once you buy it, it gets put into your CRM like 2 or 3 minutes later. So the really important thing with these guys is if you're going to buy Instant Internet Leads, which I highly recommend, you have to call them immediately. Like you buy them and then you pick up the phone. Like that quick. If you wait a day or two, they're going to go cold. Reason being is because people that fill out these leads are people that are just requesting quotes online. And most of the time when people request quotes, they're requesting it on multiple different sites. It's exclusive to you, right? So if somebody fills this out, only one person gets it, and that's the person that buys it, which is you, me, whoever. But if I fill out multiple quotes, it's going to get sent to multiple people. Now, as a lead vendor, as a CRM, we can't control how many times you fill out a quote online. We just can't. If somebody gets multiple mailers in the mail and they filled out multiple cards and they send them back, we have no way of just making sure that all of them go to one person. So keep that in mind. Nothing's 100% exclusive, but as far as one quote being filled out and going to one person, that's 100% correct. Okay? Now these guys are $11 each. These are the most expensive leads that are in the CRM, and these are some people would say highest quality. So for Instant Internet Life Leads, there's 172 in there. That's a perfect number if you want to have a 10K week. We just had convention. Everybody was raving about the Instant Internet Leads. I've had some really good experiences with them. I don't buy them every single week just because I get my lead flow primarily from mailers. They come in automatically. I love them. They're fantastic. Whenever I need to supplement, I'll use the Instant Internet Leads, but it's not my meat and potatoes. However, when you're starting out, if these were there when I was starting out, I would hop on those so fast. And a lot of top producers will buy a couple mailers and just go all Instant Internet Life Leads. And if you need to travel somewhere, you need to go and just purchase leads immediately, Instant Internet Leads. They're solid. They're really solid. You don't want to buy anything less than 30 or 40 of them, just FYI. You'll probably book between like 2 out of 10 leads, 3 out of 10 leads. So, top producer, they need to book 10 or 12 appointments for the next couple of days. They'll buy like 100, 150 of them. So 100 minimum. A lot of people say 150 minimum. If you're starting out, you may not have $1,500. But I would say if you're starting out, if you don't have $1,000 to spend, that's okay. At least for Instant Internet Leads, at least do 30 leads to 40 leads. So $300 or $400. Okay. New Internet Life Leads, those are pretty solid. Those are instant leads that were generated the past week, so they're not completely new. They're not right off the hot press. 1 month old and 3 month old. The biggest thing here, guys, is to buy leads. Go from 0 to 1 is the most important thing. All these leads work. I've sold insurance off of every single lead type in here, and there's more lead types that aren't necessarily available in Washoe County right now that I've also sold insurance off of. A lead is a lead. A lead is a lead. Whatever you buy, unless you only buy like 5 leads or 10 leads, you're going to get an ROI. Make your ROI as high as possible. Buy as many leads as you possibly can. Okay? So for this first batch, do whatever you can. I don't know what your budget is. When I got started, I had like $2,500 in my bank account. This was back in March of 2020. I had $2,500 in my bank account. A lot of that was just savings. That was my savings. I leveraged credit cards. I leveraged credit cards my first month. And it's not like I had paid interest on the credit cards, but I had like $5,000 limit with Visa, MasterCard, Chase Bank, credit card, whatever it was. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to buy like $700, $800 worth of leads. They can front me that money. I'll pay them back once I get my ROI. So my first week, I remember this actually. I bought $207 leads. No, they were $350 each. I'm sorry. I bought 200 of the 3-month-old, I think. Yeah. I bought 200 of the 3-month-old. And I sold like $2 or $3 grand off of those. That was solid. I just printed out the spreadsheet and I just went boom, 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 dialed all day long. If I was working a W-2 job, I would have been making a lot of money every single hour, just dialing leads. So that's how I got started. Then I got up and I reinvested that money into Facebook funnel expense, and then eventually I got a more mature lead strategy, which we can talk about, but that's not the purpose of this video. So that first lead batch, you want to get off the CRM. If you're going to buy instant internet life leads, dial them immediately, okay? Now, you're going to have a pretty good ROI on this first lead batch. And if your upline helps you with that, you're going to have an even better return. You're just going to have to put in the work to dial, just because you're going to get a lot of leads. You're going to have to go through people that don't remember filling it out because it was a month ago and XYZ, okay? That's part of the CRM, but it's part of the learning curve. Now, when you get your first couple sales off this first batch, you need to turn around and take 100% of those sales, whether it be $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000, and put it back into leads. And hit up your upline for that second batch. That second batch is really where you're going to crank. That second batch of leads is really where you're going to be able to leverage and push yourself into a more self-sustaining lead strategy. So I hope that provides some clarity on your first batch of leads. Your first lead order, it should be uncomfortable. You haven't done it before. That's okay. And as Paul McLean said, people somehow get infected with Parkinson's on their first lead batch because it's always like, I'm not going to hit enter. No, the enter's over here. Enter, do I do it? Do it. Just freaking do it. You're going to be very glad that you did. You're going to be able to work through all the nerves. You're not going to be stuck in the purgatory of should I not? Just do it. Call me up afterwards. Hit up those people. And the most important thing, guys, is that when you see all these leads in this CRM, that's 2,988. That's 2,988 people that are looking for life insurance. Go help them. It's worth it. You're worth it, and they're worth it.